Ich bin gerade da gelandet, wo mal wieder die Vampirjäger lauern. Noch ganz am Anfang. So, jetzt hoffe ich, glaube ich, das klappt ein bisschen besser. Ich will nicht, ich bin ein ganz netter Vampir. Hallo. Kann man den auch schockieren? Dann nicht. Hallo. Also was von mir? Das war daneben. Wenn ich mal diese Sachen machen dürfte. Das war auch daneben. So. Packen wir das mal weg. Ich muss den da untersuchen. Okay, hier ist schon mal was. Hau doch ab, Mann. Bitte gehen Sie weg. Gibt's hier keine Ratten? Oh Gott. Ja, komm her. Put. Ja. Hier ist der Vampir. Ja, wo ist der Vampir? Ey, Mann. Diese Bemerkung sollte ich nicht machen. Nö. Eiskalt die Tür zu machen. Okay, da ist schon einer. Also ich wollte das jetzt nicht so tun, aber ich ist mir Tiger. Himmel. So, kann ich jetzt mal wenigstens was?
Ammunition crate. Good. I may need a lot of bullets. I feel like I'm back on the front line again.
Let's head back to a warm fire.
Shut that foolish mouth of yours. You ever known McCullum to be wrong about anything?
Right. No time I can remember. But I've only been part of the guard 3 weeks to the day.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy. If the man says a bloodsucker's dug in here, you've got one job, and that's to find it. And find it fast.
It's fair enough, Tom. But why do they hide where it's so damn cold?
Genau, bitte gehen Sie weiter. So, hier ist eine Blutspur. Ich werde zum Bluthund.
Best run along home, sir.
Hallo.
It ain't human! Kill it!
Hey, lass ihn nur. Ach, Quatsch. Ich muss doch da nicht.
All of you bloody leeches need killing.
Ey,
Get them weapons ready. We found one.
hallo. Doch.
Yeah. You get back in the grave.
Da muss das eigentlich mal so ein großer, sperriger Typ sein? Kann das nicht mal irgendwie ein... Na, nee, ich vielleicht doch vielleicht vorher mal das gemacht. Es gibt ja auch keine Ratten da, nee. Doof. ja schlimm. Einmal abgeschmiert, zweimal abgeschmiert, dreimal abgeschmiert. Naja. Die soll dran gewöhnen. Aber kann man wirklich jetzt... Moment. Gameplay? Controls. Okay, was haben wir denn da? Nahkampf, Ausweichen, gedrückt halten zum Rennen. Sprung, alles klar. Signalvisieren, Kamera. Medizinische Untersuchung. In den Band ziehen. Waffen abmachen. Kann man? Na toll, man kann nur Sinn machen. Kann man da nicht wirklich? Ist ja doof. Naja, gut. Nichtsdestotrotz. Wieso guckt man sich denn doch die Steuerung an? Naja, sorry. Es tut mir ja nicht so leid. Ich möchte was zum Werfen haben. Na toll. Ist kalt. Ah, okay.
Right. No time I can remember.
Alles klar.
But I've only been safe here for a gentleman.
All the more reason to shut it, Mr. Billy.
I said stay away, sir.
Says a bloodsucker's dug in here. You've got one job,
Bin doch weg.
and that's to find it. And find it fast.
Bin hier überhaupt
Fair
nicht
enough, Tom. But why do they hide where it's so damn cold?
It's locked, all right.
Nein, ernsthaft. Es ist zu hoch. Zu hoch. Ist die auch zu?
I cannot enter.
Hallo, wer sind Sie? Wo ist... Hallo? Hallo? So. Was haben wir hier? Nichts. Wow. Okay. Dann wieder runter. Türe zu, Türe zu. Ich wundere, es gibt mal Türen, die immer jedes Mal zu sind. Ja, ja. Sorry.
This one's mine!
Okay. Oh. Weg. Das geht wieder nicht, ne?
Kill you!
Da hinten hat man den Ball noch.
Find this fight! Fight for this! I'll send you to hell! Back in the grave, you! Die, beast! I'll kill you!
hier, aber kann man vielleicht mal aufhören? So, jetzt wieder heilen. What the?
That's what you do with leeches.
Get it burn, burn, burn. Like a vampire. So. Wieso muss man denn eigentlich mal alles verbrennen hier? Das ist falsch. Das ist die Karte. So, hier ist Blut, da ist Blut, überall ist Blut, Blut, Blut. Wir haben kleine Ratten. Ratten und Unterschlüpfer. Alles klar. Lass uns doch. Da hoch. Keep out. Ui, eine Leiche. Was soll man denn da herstellen? Herstellen. Eine Uhr, also wieder okay. Aufsetzen. Interessant. Ui. So. Haben wir das schon mal erledigt? Dann was hier erledigt. Ich wüsste nicht, was man hier auffüllen soll. Quatsch, das ist falsch, da ist die Karte. Wieso mache ich sowas? Warum? Nichts ewiger Durst. Qualität des Blutes, ist klar. Ja, heilen mit... Wie soll ich das denn jetzt heilen? Hallo? Behandlung gegen Erschöpfung. Heilen mit irgendwie so ein komisches Ding aus Kirchen. Medizintasche. Ja, okay, das kriege ich nur, wenn ich auf der 130 bin. Gut. Das ist sehr schön zu wissen. Wie viele Punkte brauche ich dafür? Quatsch. Bestätigen. Das muss mir jemand mal erstmal erklären mit den ganzen Level und Gemache und Tour. Was war denn sonst hier noch? Nothing. Das sind Ratten. Das sind Jäger.
It's locked. Fresh blood. The whole building reeks of it. The scent is so strong it makes me dizzy.
Okay, was habe ich denn jetzt wieder?
This place reeks of
He's done it before. No. I had a drink outside tonight already and it did not quench my thirst. I must have more.
Oh, dear God. Not again. William, please stop.
Just a sip.
This creature is bedeviled. I must put it down.
Das war
William, please. Stop. William was an honorable man. I could have saved him.
Mr. Hampton, are you in there?
We knew him well, another lost soul, a kindred spirit.
Sir, listen to the sound of my voice. I'm a doctor. You're suffering from shock.
I must return to my flock. They'll stray without me.
Remember, certain skulls are every bit as resistant as we are.
Who are you? What do you mean by skull?
You truly are a newborn. I should have realized.
Wait. You are the woman from the bar. Are you like me? Can you help me?
I believe, sir, I already have.
Tschüss, Vampyr. Nehmen wir ihn mal mit. Warum denn nicht?
By George and the Saints, you've solved the mystery of these terrible murders.
Ach ja, schon.
Patience, good fellows, I've come to offer help. Just give me a moment to secure my boat. We can leave this awful place.
Der ist ausgebrochen. Wow.
William was not the evil man they claimed. He was just taken by the thirst. He needed his drink.
This man requires medical attention. We'll see he gets to the nearest hospital.
No, please, I must tend to my fold. My flock needs me.
There, sir. Go with the good Dr. Swansea. He's resourceful, and I'm sure he'll take good care of you.
You'd best come as well. The sun is soon to rise, and you'll need a place to rest.
I just need a moment. If I can learn something about what has happened to William, I'll be a step closer to understanding what happened to me. This poor creature can't be my maker. Could it be some subspecies of vampire? I must find a place to analyze the blood.
Kann man nicht hier bleiben? Die Sonne geht zwar auch, aber egal. Der kann auch noch ein bisschen schneller. Oder...
Where are we headed?
We're on our way to the Pembroke Hospital. It's just across the canal. They'll have a bed for poor Mr. Hampton.
William was... What manner of creature was he?
Predator, prey, villain, and victim. Who can say? The important thing is that he's been stopped.
Duly noted. And the woman? What... who is she?
What woman?
Oh, don't play me for a fool. You used me to locate that skull. You must know who she is.
And I thought you a gentleman. You shouldn't talk about a lady behind her back, but I will tell you she values her privacy. Were London as peaceful as she appears from the middle of the canal? If only that were the reality of the situation.
To be honest, I've always tried to avoid this part of town.
Pembroke Hospital is the last bastion between the rest of London and the epidemic. The flu has decimated the East End and the war still rages. Welcome to the front lines of a plague.
This is where you work, Dr. Swansea?
I am the administrator of Pembroke Hospital.
I thought you were here in service of your mysterious order, the Brotherhood of...
Of St. Paul's Stole, yes. But first and foremost, I'm a man of science. A physician, like yourself, Dr. Reed.
How do you know who I am?
No need for modesty. You are Dr. Jonathan Reed, a surgeon of some caliber and renown, if I'm not mistaken.
You are correct, sir.
I knew it! I had my suspicions. But when you took the blood sample from the corpse of poor William, I was certain. Dr. Reed. Marvelous.
Have we met?
I attended 3 of your seminars before the war. I have the utmost admiration for your research. And what a turn of fate. England's most esteemed blood specialist returns to London a vampire.
That word, again. From a so-called man of science.
I understand. Traditionally, the role of science is to refute myth, but when myth walks among us, the Brotherhood of St. Paul has dedicated its purpose to their study. There's so much for you to learn.
Of that, you are right.
Well, then let me be blunt. Join my staff at Pembroke Hospital. As a physician. I suspect you'll not find a better post of employment to contemplate your predicament.
This is sudden. I was returning home to see my sickly mother. But alas, that was before contracting this... affliction.
Dr. Reed, take a moment to consider. The post would be for the night shift, providing a good explanation for your absence during daylight hours. You'll be adequately reimbursed, and have a place to hide. I even had the forethought to bring some clean clothes. So, what do you say?
Nein.
It seems I have little choice, but yours is a generous offer, so I thank you.
Brilliant! Oh, Jonathan, this is one for the book, and the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
Friendship.
Dr. Swansea, thank goodness. I was beginning to be concerned.
Worry no more, Nurse Crane, for I bring good news.
Oh, Doctor, what a night. We lost 2 more patients. Nurse Scow said she couldn't take it anymore and resigned.
Yes, well, I'll make a new rota in the morning. In the meantime, find a good bed for Mr. Hampton. Be sure to pay attention to his needs.
Of course, Doctor.
Oh, and Dorothy?
Yes, Doctor?
Dr. Reed here has just returned from the front. He served King and Country and will be joining us here at Pembroke. We're very lucky to have gained a surgeon of his talent, and one so experienced in blood transfusions.
That is good news indeed, Doctor.
Ob das wirklich so eine gute Idee ist, im Krankenhaus zu arbeiten als
Here at Pembroke, it's not what we have, but what we haven't. It's only thanks to Nurse Crane and the staff that our ship doesn't sink. If you have any questions, just ask her.
Duly noted. Thank you.
Your assistance is required, Dr. Swansea, immediately.
Welcome aboard, Jonathan. We'll catch up after my rounds. Coming, Nurse Crane. I'm coming.
Er verwandelt sich.
Come on, you bastard. You can do better than that. Nah, it's my turn.
Rotten or pristine, each heart contains the seeds of life. Drink at this river, try it all.
Spaß to give me a good poke. Oh, come on, you bastard. I won't bite.
Sir, please. You've lost too much blood. Calm yourself.
You think I didn't notice? Stop your staring and get me to an hospital, you arse!
Insulting a good Samaritan. Not exactly the way to get rescued.
All right, sorry. I am in pain here. My guts are spilling out onto the street and you're yabbering on.
Yes. That's a very nasty wound you've got there. Take my word, I am a doctor. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Name's Clay Cox. I'd appreciate you helping me to a better place, Doc.
Follow me, Mr. Cox. Let me assist you to that better place.
What?
Bring this fading light into the shadows. Dance with him the dance of life and death.
In Gang 5 müsste vielleicht mal gewischt werden. Ah, die sitzen ja schon wieder da. Ja. Okay. Jetzt wieder zurück. Macht jetzt sehr viel Sinn.
No more. Not tonight. Not like this. I will not take another life.
It is wise for the huntsman to sometimes let his prey go, but no famished hunter can run for long.
Ja, und?
It's locked, all right.
Whoa, I feel giddy.
Kann man den vielleicht nochmal aufheben? Der sitzt da so ein bisschen so rum.
Doctor, where have you been? I've little time to play hide and seek with new staff members, no matter how illustrious they may be.
I found a wounded man by the docks. He answers to the name of Clay Cox. He requires urgent medical attention.
Already making the rounds? That's the Pembroke spirit. I'll ask our porter, Milton, to bring him back immediately.
Thank you, nurse. What can I do for you?
Dr. Swansea insisted we provide you a quiet office. You'll find it on the second floor with your name on the door.
Thank you. Nurse Crane, isn't it?
Yes, Dorothy Crane. Welcome to Pembroke Hospital, Dr. Reed. Your office has been prepared.
I would like to ask a few questions first. And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in, how does he fare?
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind of man is Dr. Swansea?
Well, you accepted the job from him. I thought you would have known about your employer.
It's right to assume Dr. Swansea knows far more about me than I do about him.
You'll get to know him soon enough, and better than me. The administrator has better things to do than mix with us.
Apologies, I've only just met him the once. This is sudden. I've only just returned to England.
Dr. Swansea is a brilliant surgeon and the most compassionate physician.
If you could point me in the direction of my room again, nurse.
Second floor of the hospital, left after the stairs. It's the last vacant office at the end of the corridor.
Okay. Ich habe ja
Thank you,
zwar
Nurse
nicht mehr
Crane.
zugehört, aber nicht so schlimm. Ich will doch nicht zuhören. Huh?
Dr. Swansea is right. This place seems perfect to conduct my research.
Als erster Stock. Wussten Sie nicht in der Öffentlichkeit, hallo? Das ist doch der erste Stock, ne? Treppe links? Jetzt genau. Die Treppe links, genau. Oder was rechts? Das ist die Waffe. Eine Knochensäge? Wofür brauche ich denn jetzt eine Knochensäge? Hallo? Ich weiß nicht.
It's locked.
Sag mal, hier sind doch...
This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin.
Sehr schön. Wo ist mein Sarg? Hallo. das reicht nicht. Schade. Kommt hier noch irgendwie raus?
William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun is about to rise. I can feel it. I'll continue tomorrow night. I have so much time now.
Am besten die ganzen Fenster verbarrikadieren. Stufe 5. So, irgendwas war doch eben damit. Achso, da. Genau, taktisch. Sie jetzt Schaden. Okay. Schatten. Nee, Richtung. Ach, Quatsch.
If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood?
Das weiß ich jetzt auch nicht. Das ist ja dein Problem. Nicht mein Problem. Was ist das für ein Zombie? Ja, was stehen sie da doof rum? Nö. Hat da nicht jemand belaubt? Was? Hä?
As for me,
Leute,
what a blundering idiot.
ich will mich doch jetzt hier fort. Ah, achso.
So many deaths. And still walking. How can we be sure we're
Weil
making a
ich
difference?
mich gerade nicht am Arsch fühle.
Good evening, sir.
An welcher Tür? In der Tür? In der Tür.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed.
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
A colleague? Are you a doctor too?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana, pawnbroker and humble guardian of this morgue.
What do you mean, you used to be a doctor? Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little pawn shop while taking care of the dead. But I used to be a real doctor.
you work here alone?
Yes, very easy work, sir. All I have to do is watch a few bodies. The situation was very different when the main morgue was still open.
Why close the hospital's main morgue?
It was for sanitary reasons after the beginning of the epidemic. Cadavers had to be moved to the nearest mass grave.
Why do you have to watch these bodies?
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for the missing. Sadly, very rarely happens.
Okay, weitermachen.
Are you afraid or uneasy being surrounded by so many corpses?
Why should I? These bodies are empty vessels. Flesh left to decay. Poof. No soul anymore. All gone.
How did you get this job?
After I left the army, I worked as an undertaker down by the docks. A dangerous place with many an unpleasant business there. Milton Hooks helped me get a job here.
An interesting point of view. And quite an exotic one, too. Most people fear, or at least have a respect, for dead flesh.
Sir, as a medic during the war, I learned to face my death and the death of others. It's the pain we have to tame, not death itself.
Bürgerhinweisen. Okay, interessant. Was ist denn jetzt wieder? Oh, Hinweise. Wir gehen Hinweisen nach. Zurück.
Have we met before?
I don't think so, sir. Why?
When we first talked, you said you were glad to meet me since I was reported dead.
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must be very relieved now.
Please show me what you have to sell.
Of course. It's just trinkets and curios, really. But I'm sure they can be useful.
I'm willing to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Sir. Doctor.
Good evening, madam. Can I help you?
It's my son who needs you, sir.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed. How can I help your son?
I'm Beatrice Goswick, mother of Mortimer Goswick. Could you check on him, please, Dr. Reed? I've heard much of your talents as a physician.
I'm all right.
What do you think of your reception here? Any complaints?
I have had the uttermost reservations about this hospital since we arrived. But we had no other choice, considering the state of emergency.
Is there something in particular that's bothering you?
Some of the staff were not especially welcoming. I suspect they're not accustomed to dealing with patients of such social standing.
What can you tell me about yourself, Mrs. Goswick?
Not much to say. Just take care of my Mortimer and I'll cover all the expenses.
May I ask if you have an occupation, Mrs. Goswick?
I'm a teacher by profession. I teach young women who are more ambitious about their futures than their families.
Are you really that rich? Most of the patients here are of a more humble origin, if I may say so.
Yes, thanks to my husband. May he rest in peace. I can cover any needed medical expenses.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
She charged you for a bed?
Yes, and I paid without question, considering the urgency of the situation.
Tell me more about your arrival at the Pembroke Hospital. What gave you such a bad first impression?
The ambulance driver was quite rude, for a start. And that nurse, Miss Hawkins, seems to have quite a dubious attitude.
What do you mean?
She managed to secure a bed for my son despite the epidemic. It was a relief, but it wasn't cheap.
I share your concern, Mrs. Goswick. Be sure that I'll talk to the people involved.
I don't expect compensation, Dr. Reed. But I'm aware such behavior would not be tolerated in other hospitals.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick. Good evening. I'm Dr. Reed. Can I help at all?
No.
Really? Why are you here, then?
I don't want to talk. My throat hurts too much.
I suppose that this pain is the reason you're here. Is someone taking care of you?
Yes. And no.
Could you at least tell me your name, sir?
Mortimer. Mortimer Goswick.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'm sure you realize a doctor and his patient have to communicate, sir. Would it help if I gave you some paper and a pen?
Not really.
I see. Then maybe it's not just your throat that hurts, Mr. Goswick. Perhaps your sore throat is just the consequence of something more hurtful.
Yes, maybe. But I don't want to talk or even write about it now.
Why did your mother have you hospitalized here? She seems convinced this is a bad hospital.
My mother just wants the best for me. She won't rest while I'm here. She'd go all the way to hell and back to help me.
Pembroke Hospital may look unorthodox, but rest assured you're in good hands here.
It's not me you have to convince, Dr. Reed. It's my mother.
Is your mother bothering you? As your doctor, I can ask her to leave you alone if you would prefer.
That's tempting, Doctor. But you have no idea what my mother is capable of. She would tie herself to my bed if you asked her to leave.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Goswick.
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
How painful is your throat, Mr. Goswick?
So painful I'd rather not talk at all, Doctor.
I'll let you get some rest, then.
I'm alright. Don't waste your time with me.
As for me, what a blundering idiot. As for me, what a blundering idiot. Oh, sweet girl.
Good evening, Doctor. I believe we're going to be working together.
Dr. Reed. Dr. Swansea informed us of your arrival, but I could not dare to believe we'd have such good fortune. Such an honor, sir.
Thank you. And you are?
I am Thoreau Strickland, Dr. Thoreau Strickland. I'm a great admirer of your work, Dr. Reed.
What can you tell me about the Pembroke?
Well, it has always been an honor to work with Dr. Swansea. But with your arrival, I can't think of a better opportunity to learn about blood transfusion.
Do you need help with anything in particular?
Well, yes, maybe. I'm waiting for a batch of products I ordered for my personal research, yet my supplier seems to have vanished.
Do you want me to play the errand boy for you?
Oh, no, Dr. Reed. But if you went personally to his shop, what with your reputation and all, he wouldn't dare to refuse the products I need.
I see.
So, jetzt soll ich wieder zum
Well,
Fahrrad
give me the address,
gehen.
for I may pass by if I have time. You seem quite optimistic. It's a rare and precious attitude in these difficult times.
I'm convinced that this epidemic is a test of endurance and dedication for us men of science.
Questions remain about our capacity to resolve the situation.
True.
True.
Last summer, during the first wave of the epidemic, I used to joke with Milton about the extra work. We're not smiling now.
That's so true. Super Patient, ey.
Please, could you tell me something about yourself?
I'm a great admirer of your work concerning blood transfusion, Dr. Reed. I run my own experiments. I'm convinced it's the future.
Hey, ich bin Arzt und Vampir, aber ich arbeite in meinem Krankenhaus. Dort wird Blut zwar hantiert, aber hey.
What made you choose to be a doctor?
I'm not ashamed to admit you and your work have inspired me. I am honored to have the opportunity to work by your side.
Der
It's always a pleasure to share scientific and medical knowledge with someone eager to learn. I'll be glad to help you if I can.
This epidemic may be the century's most terrible disaster, but I'm convinced that we, as doctors, are the only ones able to defeat it.
I based my technique on my mentor's research. He helped me perfect my method. What is yours?
I'd rather not talk about it. For now, it's just theories and first approach. My process is purely experimental and unsuccessful.
As long as you're cautious and methodical, you may remain empty-handed, but you won't fail.
You're not the first one to warn me, but I am convinced knowledge is the main weapon against the ravages of this epidemic.
Okay. Zurück.
Tell me more about your willingness to experiment with new medical techniques.
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him if not treated correctly. I'm convinced your blood transfusion technique could help him.
What is it you really want? To save him, or to prove your point?
Fair question. I want nothing but to save my patient, Dr. Reed. Especially since I know Mr. Fiddick's story.
Good.
Tell me Mr. Fiddick's story.
Our first diagnosis was compromised because Mr. Fiddick lied to us about the real origin of his injury. He first claimed it was an accident.
But why would he hide such crucial information from us?
Because he is a proud father, ashamed of putting his children at risk because of his own negligence.
Oh. Huh?
This personal involvement could also appear to be a lack of impartiality. You must know that a good surgeon must remain neutral.
I agree. But that does not excuse Dr. Aykroyd's behavior, a man who did not even take time to converse with his patient.
Do you think keeping his distance was a mistake?
All I know is that I'm taking care of human beings with desires, hopes, and fears. Not some biological machine comprised of blood, bones, and flesh.
Goodbye, Dr. Strickland.
So, ich würde jetzt zu einer Tante hier gehen. Klar. Da ist er wieder.
You always knew the words to calm the children.
Good evening, Doctor. How is my son doing?
Wenn der nicht... Keine Ahnung.
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
I will not let you down, my boy.
With you at our side, Dr. Reed, I know that we will prevail and survive this epidemic.
Der Typ gibt dich zur Apotheke. Nee, ich geh zur Apotheke. Wo ist die Apotheke? Und wir gehen zur Apotheke. Apotheke muss da irgendwo sein. Solange jetzt nicht gleich wieder so ein Vampirjäger auftaucht, ist doch alles schick, ne?
Skull voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody.
er hier im Krankenhaus? Ja. Okay, hier sind noch komische Skulls. Wo sind die Skulls? Ja, wo sind sie denn? Hier? Bleiben sie zu Hause. Okay.
What must I do? What must I do? This is even my neighborhood.
Ja, Vampyr macht schon irgendwie so ein bisschen Laune.
Miss, please, I feel sick. Get over here now.
Kann man vielleicht auch ein bisschen freundlicher reden, Menschenskinos?
Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Dr. Reed.
Ach, er schon wieder.
Still working at night, I see. I like that.
And why is that?
People who don't sleep at night always seem more alive to me. More interesting, one way or another.
Wieso? Der ist total unfreundlich. Der kann mir vielleicht ein bisschen das abgeben. Von dieser Unfreundlichkeit. Nee, also Vampyr macht echt Spaß. Ich habe mir heute erst gekauft und muss sagen, total angetan von dem Spiel.
Do you ever think about that poor fellow I saw you push in the water?
The wound he gave me will make sure I don't forget him. Still fucking hurts. Boss had cut me good.
What did he want? Revenge?
I recently had to kill his brother. Poor arsehole thought it would be easy to return the favor.
Bis jetzt ja. Aber wer weiß. Bin mal gespannt. Ja, super. Und Ost bist du? Ach komm.
Only the strongest survive, then? Survival at all costs. Is that all you think about?
I'm the toughest bastard you'll ever meet, Dr. Reed. And I don't give a fuck what you think of me.
That man was determined to murder you. You almost died.
What a surprise. The first time I met him, he nearly shit himself. Fucking coward. I guess revenge gives you balls.
How is your hospitalization going, Mr. Cox?
This is a shitty place with shitty staff. But as long as I'm treated all right, I'll be fine.
Ach so, alles klar. Okay. Solange man dann auch noch respektvoll... Na, alles klar.
What's wrong with the hospital?
Come on, Dr. Reed. The place is a dump. Smelly, sad, and dirty.
But you're alive thanks to the efforts and dedication of the staff here, aren't you?
What are you expecting, a medal? I thought that saving lives was just part of the job. Must be an unsatisfactory profession at this time, I'm sure.
What's wrong with the Pembroke staff?
That bastard you sent to bring me here,
Danke dir auch.
I thought he was going to break all my bones before I reached my bed.
I see. Any other?
Any others? Any others?
The smart comments?
The nurses aren't too ugly. Especially that foxy one, Nurse Crane. Pretty brunette, tough attitude, all like that.
How long do you think you can escape the law, Clay?
I know this city like the back of my hand, Doc. I know its streets, who to pay, who to avoid, and who to bully. I won't get caught.
Bis irgendwann, ne? Sterben. Nee.
We can't escape the consequences of our actions. The past catches up with us in the end.
I ain't afraid of death. I don't hide who I am. I live my life honestly, which is more I can say for most folks.
And who are you?
I'm the leader of the Wet Boot Boys. One day I'll leave this shitty place and punch in the face all who thought I would not come back.
Okay. Ja, gut.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
So, kann ich mit denen jetzt nicht schon wieder begegnen. Geht mir auf den Keks, ich mag den nicht.
Oswald, you can't just die like this.
Haben Sie was verloren? Hallo?
Please, sir. I need help bad.
What's going on?
I'm Blight, sir. Newton Blight. I've lost my mate. Can't find him anywhere.
I'm Dr. Jonathan Reed from the Pembroke Hospital. Please, calm down and give me more details.
Oswald and myself were both infantry, sir. We were en route for the hospital, but we had a disagreement. And Oswald ran off towards the canal.
How long have you been searching for him?
I can't go there. Too many rats by the water. Fucking rats. Can't stand them since the war, sir. Can't stand them at all.
Don't be ashamed, Mr. Blight. Many soldiers who survived the trenches suffer from musophobia. I'll see what I can do for your friend.
Yeah, okay.
What can you tell me about your friend?
His name is Oswald Thatcher. We survived the war together. Oswald is nervous and quite fragile since we came back from the war.
Where was your friend the last time you saw him?
He went down by the canal. He didn't want to go to the hospital. I think he went to the sewers on purpose. So I couldn't go after him.
Okay.
What can you tell me about yourself?
I'm Oswald's best friend. We served in the same regiment, sir. We've taken care of each other since we came back from the front.
I have all the information I need for now. If I find anything out about your friend, I'll let you know as soon as I can.
Thank you, Dr. Reed.
So, bitte gehen Sie weg. Ich habe hier gerade was.
I cannot enter.
Ach komm, gib dir wenigstens mal ein bisschen Mühe. Aber was für... Wo ist denn der Konvoi? Bin ich jetzt ganz doof? So, Kanal sein. Springen. Geht ja nicht. Geht's hier wenigstens weiter?
It's locked, all right.
Apropos Apotheke. Nö, so doch nicht.
It's locked.
We've dodged death so many times. Oswald, you can't just die like this.
I cannot enter.
stupid beast!
Sag mal, wir müssen jetzt mal überall nirgendwo. Die Skulls lassen sie in Ruhe, ne? Aber nur mich nicht. Nee, nee. Komm her, Put. Sag mal. Was würde passieren, wenn ich jetzt den hier und den hier irgendwie? Hallo?
A leech! A leech! He's mine! I'll take it!
So, bitteschön. Willst du mich ignorieren? Ich bin gar nicht da, eigentlich. Nein. Ich werde angegriffen. Nur die Skulls nicht. Nö, nö. Ja, ja. Immer dieses... Wir arbeiten zusammen. Ja, muss ja wieder so sein, ne? Nein, ich wurde besiegt. Wie ist denn das nur möglich? Versagen ist ja auch nicht so schlimm. Mache ich auch immer gerne. Und immer extra. Damit das nicht so langweilig wird. Was? Wo sind Hunde? Wo? Also, das ist wieder diese Straße. Hier habe ich doch irgendwo was gehabt. Quatsch. Hauptmission? Ewiger Lust? Erfolgreich. Quatsch. Sie an der Tür nach? Kapitel Container? Also das habe ich nicht. Ach so, ja, ich habe ja so abgenutzte Säge, abgenutzter Knüppel, abgenutzte Send. Was? Boah, das nehme ich direkt. Meins? Definitiv meins. Kann man das hier irgendwie? Hallo? Kann man das denn jetzt hier ändern? Achso, okay. Das ist ja eine... Bitte ich kein Papier? Okay. Sag mal, geht das da oben noch ein bisschen leiser, bitte? Das klingt nach einem Schluck auf. Die Waffe ist ein bisschen doof. Ist ja auch nur zwei Hände. Oh Mann. Ich will nix zwei Hände haben jetzt. Das war mir jetzt eine Lehre. Ja, so. Oh, ist schon wieder hier. Whitechapel Street. Man muss nicht rausgehen, man kann aber nicht schon wieder was? Albert. Also, wenn ich jetzt wieder da lang gehe, sind wieder diese... Kann man sich nicht unsichtbar machen? Das klingt aber nicht mehr so bewohnbar, das Haus. Ich möchte hier wieder raus. Okay, ich lasse den mal da einfach in Ruhe. Aus um dich. Also. Ich möchte mich entwickeln. Entwickeln. Details. Noch ein Kreis. Albert. Albert. Mortimer. Schon Hemden. Das halbe Hemd. Ultimate. Warte mal, was für eine Stufe hat der jetzt gerade? 11? Okay. Man kann auch unter Größenwahn leiden. Das ist sehr schön zu wissen, dass die Stufe 11 sind. Ist jetzt peinlich. Naja, gut. Hier, Mülltonnencheck. Hier ist nix, da ist nix. Der gefällt mir. Was haben wir hier? Der. Ah, alles klar. Der hat inside. Level 12. Ich musste aber lang. Könnt ihr mal bitte gehen? Bitte gehen Sie jetzt. Oh.
Better go home, sir. Don't come closer!
Ich gehe doch. Siehst du das nicht oder bist du blind? Die kommen doch selber nah. Was? Was war das? Blackwood. Mann, hier kommt man an Orte. Bin hier wieder ganz rein. Was? Okay, sorry. Die armen Ratten. Okay. Level 5. Was? Die werden ja immer... Hallo? Level 5. Das kann ich mir doch gerade nicht antun. Da ist eine Ratte. Okay, das ist definitiv keine Apotheke. Oh, wie süß, ein Totenkopf. Piraten. Ach so, das ist so ein...